Good morning everyone, I'm back up in our tower. Last week you saw us here at the end of our vlog. We were stripping the wallpaper off just over there behind the camera, and Susie started chiselling this plaster off. Now what I was doing earlier with the glass, I took some of this render off, crushed it up, put it in the bottom glass, then put some vinegar on it, and as you can see from the film, it started fizzing. And that fizzing, that reaction, tells me that lime is present. So I'm quite comfortable that this here is lime render. The other clue is the colour. A cement-based render tends to be more grey, whereas a lime render tends to be browner, beigey, yellow, that type of colour. So there's two reasons I have for believing this is a lime render. And that's good because it allows the wall to breathe and doesn't trap any moisture. That's good for a building. However, this is modern gypsum-based plaster, and that will actually trap any moisture. So this plaster's got to come off. What we noticed last winter on the stairs here, there are patches of water, even when it hadn't been raining, where it just got cold. So we believe that maybe linked to this plaster being on here. Maybe the water runs down behind it and then gets onto the steps. I don't know, but this stuff's not good. So I'm going to try and take all this off. It's going to be a bit of a fiddly, time-consuming job. I'm hoping the steamer will help soften it up so it will all come off. Otherwise, it's just hammer and chisel and see where we end up. So that's my task for today. Well, that's this section done, and yes, I did forget to put my mask on at the beginning. Got halfway through and realised I wasn't wearing it. So yeah, I'm going to just carry on working down. I don't know how far I'll get in this vlog. Hopefully if I can get half of it done, I'll be pleased with that. It's a bit tricky up high. Yeah, some of it's coming off easy, some of it isn't, some of it the steam helps, some of it doesn't, so it's one of those jobs, a bit of a pain. Anyway, in the meantime, Susie's downstairs in our modern kitchen, and that's what it says in the deeds, by the way, modern kitchen. She's got a little job she wants to start, so I'll hand you over to her.
Okay, so I'm in the modern kitchen. If you watched any of our earlier episodes, you would have seen when we took the plasterboard off the ceiling, and it was before I became ill, and we became ill, and we haven't done anything else since then. But I bought some paint, and I decided I want to paint the cupboard door here. Probably should paint the inside and fill it first, but I'm fed up with not painting anything and things looking nice, so I'm going to get on with this. But I need to get this, it's like sticky back plastic off, and it's gone brittle, And they've also done the shelves, which I can take out and get this off. So I'm going to give it a wash down and a light sand, because they're not in too bad condition actually. So this room is a bit of an odd shape because this is the main wall of the main building. This is the outside wall of the main building, and this area was built on, but it was built on an angle. So the cupboard goes into a V, which is why they've probably done this, because you can't really do anything else with it. And I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do in this room. We've been using it as a utility room, but we did run some pipe work into the boot room so we could put the washing machine and tumble dryer in there. And I would like a nice downstairs cloakroom with a shower, so I think that's what we're going to do in here. And whilst I'm working here, the dogs are having a little snooze.
Well, that's looking a bit of a mess, but it's an essential job. Yeah, it's just made a mess everywhere, but there you go. I've just got past this second window, so I'm roughly halfway, but I've got to stop now and clear up really. And the problem with working in the middle of the house, I've got to clear up each time, whereas if I'm in one of the rooms, it doesn't really matter. You just shut the door in the room and go back to it next day, carry on making more mess and just have one big clear up. But no, this is the middle of the house, so I've got to get cleaned up. It's going to take ages. There's quite a lot of plaster. Again, same story here. Some of it came off really easy, some of it needed the steamer 2 or 3 times. So, but yeah, I'm pleased. It's you know, it's allowing this place to breathe. It's essential. Messy old job, but essential. So I'll get back to it. Well, a couple of days' time now. Yeah.
I don't know if you can tell from this video, it's not quite the green I was thinking, it's more bluey really. But I've got an idea of a wallpaper that might go with it. Well, I've done one coat on the outside of the door. I've still got that bit at the top to do. We've got to repair a piece of wood. I think I'll have to get another tin of paint because I haven't done the inside yet, and I've still got a top coat to do on this side, which I've probably got enough for. But I quite like the colour though. But I don't think I'd want to do all my windows in it.
That was going really well. I got all the way around and down to this patch behind me, and I got down here in no time really. It was coming off in nice lumps, and you know, it's really easy. And then I hit this patch of white, and there's a bit on this wall, you probably can't see it from the camera, and it's different from all the other plaster, and it just doesn't want to come off in decent lumps. It's just coming off in little bits. So I've taken longer in this section than I did virtually the whole of the wall, really, coming down the tower. There's a little bit up top there, I can't quite reach it. I've got to go and get the ladder, but I'll do that as and when. Under here, there's some nice steps. Oh, never mind. There is something interesting, actually. I'll show it you in a second, but there's a granite block, and I chiselled away at the plaster, and the plaster came off in one big lump, and it revealed a bit of granite, but the granite is really wet, and the plaster fell off in that section. So it just shows on one side of the plaster it was dry, but on the inside where it was attached to the granite it was soaking. So it just goes to prove that it's not allowing this wall to breathe. So I'm glad I've done this. It's, you know, it's a mess. It's not the nicest job. It's very dusty, but it's important. It'll allow it to dry out. And I've noticed that granite block. It's already drying. Actually, in the last hour and a half, I can see it's lightening as it's drying. So it's a good exercise. It's a messy one. You don't really want to be living in your house when you're doing something like this, but got no choice. I've shut all the doors. There's the door next to the camera there. There's all the doors upstairs. So hopefully that'll minimise the dust. But right now, I think I need to clear up. Before we finish the video, this week's vlog, right at the very end, after all the credits, etc., I've got a little piece of footage. We were outside the other evening, as we are most evenings, and we put the camera on the bird bath, and there was quite a few birds, so I've put it together as a little compilation. It's about 3 minutes long. I did the same last year. We had lots of comments, and people like that. So right at the very end, if if you're not interested in that sort of thing, that's fine, but if you are, keep going into the end, and then there's about 3 minutes of bird song and birds on bird baths. Right, I need a shovel. And here's that piece of granite. You can just see in the bottom left corner here, it's a bit darker. That's just a bit of dust on it. But put my hand on it, it does feel damp. And so there you go. Why we got one random piece of granite here, I don't know. But I've noticed lots of stone. So it is a stone wall, but obviously there's bits of granite here and there. Okay, I've given it a bit of a clean. Dust is going to keep coming off this wall for quite some time, but just take a quick look around. Obviously, doesn't look as neat as nice, neat plaster, but like I said, an important job. And this down here, this is where I was speaking to you from a moment ago. You can see the difference on this wall, these two colours. And it's that white plaster that was causing me such a problem in this corner, and that bit up there I've still got to get to, but unfortunately I can't reach it and it's just not coming off. So I've got to build a platform so I can get a ladder here. But yeah, it's going to be good. We'll sand all this down to get it sort of smooth. It's never going to be perfect, but if we can sand it and then paint it, but it's never going to take wallpaper unless we replaster it, and doesn't seem much point.
Well, we've had a busy time, haven't we?
We have. We've had a good old week, actually. We sort of did quite a bit for a couple of days and just put the camera down, didn't we? We just wanted to potter around, not worry too much about filming, and then it's all been a bit of a rush since then to get filming done. But yeah, so you said about the tower, it feels like a castle now.
Yeah, it does. It feels like a proper stone spiral staircase.
It is incredible, even though we're way, got more work to do, and there's a lot to finish it, but it does feel totally different now.
It just feels more natural.
Yeah, so lots to do. Lots more dusting to do, because that'll keep coming down for days, that dust.
The snow mountain.
And you're happy with that colour on the door?
I like it, but I had intended to use it on the doors and windows, but it's more bluey than I thought.
Okay.
I think I'd rather go for a pale green on the rest of it, but I do like that colour.
Yeah, it's a nice colour.
So I'm not going to change that.
Okay, well, you've made a start. You've been itching to make a start.
Yeah.
Hello, Lexi. So it's just a start, but so that's all
I need
that
to
matters.
put a bit of glamour and bling into the place now.
Oh dear.
We'd like to thank Paul Jacques. I'm laughing because we keep pronouncing his name wrong, I think. Well, I do. And I think it's Renee for buying us coffees. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. And we've also had one or two contributions towards items on our wish list. And Michelle has contributed. It's the Bosch heavy duty vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
She's contributed towards that. And
I
Susie.
think we need that now.
Well, yeah, it could come in very handy now. And Susie bought a hedge trimmer that you've been after. It's a battery one, and so she's contributed the whole amount for that.
Because
so that's really
the
kind.
petrol one we've got is really heavy for me.
Yes, it is.
So there'll be no stopping me now.
No. And Jenny contributed towards our distilling kit for the rosemary.
Yeah.
And so that's going up. So we're
to make some rosemary oil.
To make some rosemary oil
and other oils.
Yes, that sort of thing. And Michelle kindly bought us a modem, contributed towards the modem, which is in here. And this vlog will be the first on it. So
on
Michelle,
the new one.
On this one, yeah.
Not the one you broke.
No, that's not ever going to receive any of our vlogs. And there's quite a lot of storage on this one. And it's a brand called Sonics. And it's quite heavy duty, but it's large capacity. So Michelle, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Very kind, and I'm going to handle this very carefully because I won't be forgiven. And lots of new subscribers again this week, so thank you to all of you. And we've had one or two people commenting on all of our vlogs again, so they're binge watching. So thank you. I don't know how people find the time, but thank you for watching all the old episodes as well. This is episode 125 now. So,
and we're using our new microphones.
We are, although we're too lazy to pin it up at the moment today.
Well, it doesn't matter because we're not moving around.
It's working. So that's our microphone system. So hopefully sounds okay. We're still playing around with that. It sounded a bit tinny last week, I thought. So we've turned it down a bit today. So hopefully you can hear us. Anyway, that's it really. So we shall see you soon. Don't forget, there's this footage I mentioned about the birds on the bird bath coming right up at the end here. So if you want to watch that, just stay tuned.
And we thought we might do a midweek one this week.
We may do. We want to get back into the midweeks, don't we?
Yeah.
I think the only reason we stopped it was there was just a bit of pressure for 2 or 3 weeks, wasn't there? And we just didn't have time to film. So we may throw in one this week, but we don't know yet. We'll see. But anyway, thank you ever so much, and we shall see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.